We live in a twilight world, and I haven't done a video in a long time. I'm going to explain this picture here in front of us in a minute, but yeah, I just what can I say, man? It's summer. I've got way more better things to do than make videos. I don't really enjoy it, and as I said many times before, man, you've got to be real careful when it comes to making content and talking about certain subjects, because you might end up giving energy to something that doesn't exist, and you might end up being co-complicit in manifesting it into a reality. So yeah, man, there's a million and one things to talk about. I think you've got to be careful if you go near them or not, The other thing is, I don't really, as I've said yet again, I probably sound like a broken record. I just don't enjoy sitting in front of this iPad here and making videos. I find it very boring. Right now, I've just got myself a coffee. I was just watching the sun go down, and I feel like I'm in the mood now, but this is a very rare occasion. I'm also on my final strike with YouTube, so the days of me just saying whatever the hell I want are over, because, one more strike and that's it. Bang, my channel's down. Not that I really care. My channel was kind of shitty anyway. But yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, it's summer. I'm down the beach most of the days. I only work weekends. I'm just enjoying life, We have over here in the UK, we've got a bit of a lull when it comes to like the illusion warfare, the psychological operations. There's nothing really going on, nothing major, nothing that can stop you enjoying life. So that's what I'm doing. I've parked in front of like a field. I live in the countryside now. And I parked in front of a field, and just a load of rabbits have just come out of the bush. And, obviously my car is on tarmac, and they're all just in the tarmac, just, I don't know, man, out playing, I guess. Very cute. Very cute. So, what's to talk about? Yeah, so as always with me, I've got a million and one things in my head. Like, the conversations that go on in my head would be the greatest podcasts, audiobooks of all time. When it comes down to, actually trying to like speak these conversations I have inside my head out loud and put them down into a recording, it's like, I kind of freeze up. It's weird. I don't know. I'm sure other people do that. It's one of them things, isn't it? Like, and yeah. So let me get down to this picture here. This picture here right on the screen. So I've been listening lately to a few Carlos Castaneda books. And if you don't know who that is, it's probably worth, doing a little bit of research, because I'm probably not going to do very, justice about who he is. But he's basically written a load of books about his time with a guy called, Don Juan. And Don Juan being his teacher. A Yaqui Indian, I believe, and down in Mexico. And I think Carlos Castaneda, in his younger years, basically, found this guy, a medicine man. Well, he's actually a sorcerer, but I think originally Carlos Castaneda was looking for a medicine man, and he, began an apprenticeship with this guy and learned a lot from him. And anyway, there's plenty of books out there. Oh, it must be about 10 books. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I've been going through some of these books. And what really stands out to me from what Don Juan was trying to teach Carlos Castaneda is all of the messages that are shown to you just in day-to-day life. You just observing, I don't know, like a bee going onto a flower. There could be a message in there. That's, the universe is talking to you. The Matrix is talking to you. Of course, we know that when we look up in the sky, but, sometimes we don't realize it, everywhere. When you're looking at the ground, even when you're like looking at, regular folks and how they're behaving. There's a message in everything. If you can, what Don Juan says is, if you can truly see, and I'm not even going to try and explain what he means by seeing, because the whole series of books is him trying to explain there's a difference between, looking at something and, seeing something. But anyway, and what came to mind was this one experience I had when I was out in an area. I'm not going to say what the area was, but it's quite a busy, I guess it's a city. Yeah, it's a city out here in the southwest. I got myself a coffee and I sat down, and right opposite me there was 3 benches with 3 people sitting on these benches. And I'm looking at it and well, they were all just staring down at their phones, okay? But what really messed with my head was the way that their necks were kind of kicked. All of their necks were kicked to the side. Their heads were kicked to the side. And I don't know, man. I had one of them one of them very moments, a message from the universe. I was like, they look like the hangman. They looked like they were dead. The way their necks were kicked, they just looked like, that kind of classic image you see of a hanged man. And his body's just flopping, and his head's kinked to the side. That's what I saw of these guys. Like this. They were, and I just had this kind of holy shit moment in my life. I was like, these fuckers are dead, man. They're dead. Because it was like one of these beautiful sunny days. There was so much activity happening out in real life, and all they could do was stare at their phones, They were dead. They were dead. There was no soul inside there. Do you get what I'm saying? All right, yeah, okay, they're walking around, they piss, they shit, they eat, they drink, but they're dead inside. And this is way, way back before the, BS, before Scamdemic. I got my coffee here. Yeah, man, this was way before the Scamdemic. It was also maybe 2018, maybe 2019, things were pretty kind of non-eventful out in the Matrix. And I just saw this and it just stuck with me for ages. The way they were just sat on the benches, staring at their phones, their heads kicked to the side. And I was just like, whoa, man. So, for those of you that have listened to me on podcasts or listened to my horseshit talking, I often kind of toy around with this idea that most of the people walking around are not really people like me and you. NPCs, you could call them, shadows on the cave wall, projections. I don't know, they're just not quite. They're definitely not quite the same as me. They don't operate on the same system as me. Are they soulless? Are they just projections? I'm not going to go into that whole conversation right here in this, what should be a quick recording, but yeah, man. Still to this day, my favorite activity is got to be people watching. Just observing all these avatars walking around and how they behave is a great way to kind of sense what's going on, without even looking at the internet or any of this kind of social media, social engineering weaponry. You can just go out and observe the people, and then you can go and then check. There's days you will know something dark is going down on the internet because you'll see how people are behaving. You'll get home, check Twitter or whatever, and yet, lo and behold, something what I would consider stupid and illusionary is dropped. But these guys, they buy into it, and they, it really does affect these guys. These NPCs, these shadows, these people, Another, one of the other things I've often toyed around with is the fact that I died in 2020. And maybe these little signs that I was seeing was the Matrix telling me, you're about to die. Now, the whole I died in 2020 and we all died in 2020 is a very, very touchy subject for some people. The Christians and the New Agers especially, their heads explode. I don't know what it is, but the Christians and the New Agers, they really can't handle anything outside of their paradigm. If you ever kind of like throw a spanner in the works regarding their belief system or throw something new, their heads explode. They can't handle it. I can't remember. There was a guy called, what was he called? I think he was called SMQ AI. I think that was his kind of like handle we went by. And he was the one doing a lot of work on the whole thing of did we die in 2012? And I remember that guy getting a fucking hard time off people off the internet. He was getting death threats. People were trying to dox him. People were trying to out him. People were trying to find out where he works. All just for playing around with the idea that we died in 2012. I'm pretty sure he had to go off the radar a little bit till it all cooled down and just kind of like, I think he more moved on to like Mandela type topics. Yeah, man. But yeah. But that's it. Yeah. I think I've got a few kind of upcoming podcasts in the can. I'm going to be chatting with Emily Moyer soon. There'll be another double cross episode coming out. Over on my Patreon, there's a few like audio kind of conversations I've had with Nish and Human Vibration. I don't think you have to sign up to Patreon. I think you can, because I've made everything public, so I think you should just be able to go over there and just listen to it. And yeah, man, I think that's going to be it for this recording. Keep it nice and short, so it's easy to upload to YouTube. We live in a twilight world. There are no friends at dusk.